pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good afternoon and welcome to the Bryan Board of Public Affairs meeting for August 2nd, 2016. We'll start the meeting approving the minutes of the July 19th, 2016 meeting. Are there any additions or corrections? I see none, Jim. Can I have a motion to approve? So
Second. Dick?
yes.
Karen? Yes. Jim?
Yes.
Bill?
Yes.
Tom?
Yes.
Okay, next is a hearing of public concerns. Anybody present who wants to address the board that's not on the agenda? Seeing none. Next is a resolution to set the annual premium rate for health insurance. This is resolution number 23. A resolution to set the employee annual premium rate for health insurance for the period September 1st, 2016 through August 31st, 2017, and declaring an emergency. And I've asked the mayor if he could explain the new insurance.
Okay, I gave you a handout of the rates, and as we go along, you see how this will fit in. As the resolution read, the insurance contract is from September 1, 2016 through August 31st of 2017. We are with Medical Mutual, have been with Medical Mutual for a long time, and Mike Curvile of our First Insurance Group works closely with us as we negotiate the rates every year. We have what we call a minimum premium plan, which is grandfathered. And it is very important with the presidential elections and everything going on that we stay with that grandfather clause. Now that grandfather, there's a lot of rules and regulations in insurance with a grandfather clause, in that it does not allow you to make many changes in your plan, or you go off of grandfather changes. You go off of that, and once you go off of that, then the government can do more to you. You pay more and do different things like that. So it's important we can stay on the plan as long as we can. And they call it a minimum premium plan with a stop loss of $50,000 so on each one. So in other words, we're kind of a self-insurance type thing. And the nice thing about that, rather than charging a particular amount, they do charge that, but once we give that premium back, if we don't use all that, that will come back into our fund, so that when I read the rates here, that 6.46%, we might get some of that money back if we don't use it. And there are 27 single individuals participating and 109 family for 136 employees involved in our insurance plan. We have what they call a Super Med Plus deductible. Single is $374 for the individual, and family is $749. Our co-insurance is $90.10, and the out-of-the-pocket for a single individual is $499, and family is $999. Our prescription drug is $15.25.35. That's the retail, depending on what type of drug that you get. And the mail order is $25, $45, $65, depending on the type of drug and the amount that you get. We started negotiating back in probably June, July, and the first rate we had was 11.15. And the way they set that rate, they look at your usage of that all during the year and how much you've paid out, and then they try to predict what might happen next year. And that it went from 11.15 in the first negotiation session, and Mike took it back to Medical Mutual, and they dropped it to 8.19, and then they dropped it to 6.55, and then they dropped it to 6.46%. So the applicable trend for our type of insurance this year is 10.28, and we always compare our rates with individual companies that Mike deals with in our area, and we are below those companies for our renewal at that rate. The 4-year average for our insurance in 13-14 it was 0%, In 14-15, it was 6%. In 15-16, it was 0%. And in 16-17, it's 6.46%. If you divide that before, it's averaging at about 3.12 per year. And if you're in the insurance business, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. The single insurance, and that's a sheet that I handed out, the employee share for a monthly cost is $63.12 as your resolution read, and for a family it's $172.67. The employee notices that because there are 26 pay periods, and what that means is for a single individual per pay period, the cost went up $1.76, and for a family it went up $4.84. So it's very good. It's very good. We feel we have a good contract here, and we feel that we are happy to stay grandfathered. We don't know what's going to happen in the presidential election, what's going to happen to Obamacare, and all these rules and regulations we have to follow. Council did pass this last night, and we asked if BPA take a look at it tonight and pass this if possible.
Any questions? Discussion? Ben?
Lori, I guess our insurance balance, because we're pretty much self-funded, is it trending upward, trending down, or our balances accumulating?
It's trended upward over the last 10 years. This year's pretty steady to last year because, as the mayor mentioned, we had a high claims experience for the period that was evaluated with MedMutual. So we were pretty happy when it came down from 11 to 646 because we did have a high claims experience during the time period they evaluate, which is from September, would have been from September of 15 to the end of April of 16.
So our claims experience was pretty high last year.
It was. It's trending down now, though, for what it's worth, and we hope it continues on that track.
In the grandfather portion, I don't know if you, Lori, maybe you can answer this, we can't raise the amount much that the employees participate in that as a percentage of whatever the increase is. You pass along some increase to them, but you can't.
We did. A couple of years ago, you did increase the deductible and out-of-pocket on it to about the limit of the parameters that we're bound by. However, there's a small amount you could possibly adjust, but it would probably be, I think when we discussed it, I think Mike's suggestion was even leave that small amount on the table so that next year we have something to come back with.
Anybody?
And Mayor, the number you gave for employees, is that for the city side, or does that include BMU? Or
Yeah, that's for
all
everybody.
employees.
That's all employees. Could you do that again? How many are?
We have 27 single
27 single?
and 109 family,
109.
for a total of 136.
136 participate.
Yeah.
It's down a little bit.
Okay. Not every employee has to participate in that.
They don't have to participate in it, and believe it or not, we have a couple who don't.
Okay.
Any more discussion?
Do we get any complaints from employees? My last question. Do we get any complaints from employees? I know that grandfathering in exempts us from the Obamacare coverages, the Affordable Care Act. I should refer to it as the Affordable Care Act. Do we get any complaints from employees that things are not covered that they wish were covered under the Affordable Care Act?
No, we haven't had that discussion. And if we do have any issues with someone who's trying to go to an out-of-network provider or something like that, Mike and Lana Ellison, who works for him up at First Insurance, are pretty accommodating and trying to help the employees. And they're a very, very helpful group with the issues that we seem to have. But no, we haven't had any Obamacare type issues.
That's one thing that with working with Mike, and just about everyone will accept our rates. All the hospitals and everything like that. If you go to another insurance company and several, then you've got to start that negotiation with all over again.
Right.
And there's some things coming where people are trying to form their individual health companies, working with bigger companies, but you would have to go to the same doctor and the same individuals, and I don't know if staff would like that or not. We've never had any problems with negotiations because we've got a good contract, and this should be a plus for negotiations, especially with all of them open this year.
Yeah.
We did shop this about 2 years ago. By shopping, went out to other insurance companies, had them quote in on us. Medical Mutual is still our best value. Plus, we had our risk management company, Cranelinger, do an assessment on it and advised us to continue on the plan we were on. So that was 2 years ago. You don't normally shop every year. They pretty much stop looking at you because if you continue to trend with the company you've been with. And if you play hopscotch, then you have a possibility of jumping around on rates.
We want to make sure Mike does a job for us, and that's why we get that second opinion coming in every couple of years. So, and he's fine. Does a great job.
Anyone?
I'm set.
Okay. Anybody else? Can I have a motion to accept?
So moved.
I will second.
Bill?
Yes.
Tom?
Yes.
Jim?
Yes.
Karen?
Yes.
Dick?
Yes.
Thank you.
Next on the agenda, a request to put Jimmy Dunning on regular employment status. See, this is a contractual promotion, I guess you'd say.
Well, it's removing him for probation. He's been on probation for 6 months as a water plant operator, Class 1.
Okay.
He's met all the criteria a long time ago to be a water plant operator 1. And I would add that he's also already passed his Class 2 with the high EPA, so when the time comes, he will receive that certification and be ready for that too.
Yeah, I see he's kind of ahead of the game here, isn't he? Way ahead.
Chad and Jimmy are both ahead of the game as far as Ohio EPA certification is concerned. They both are considered operator in training of a Class 2. The EPA requires so much on-the-job training as well before they release that certificate.
So according to this, then, in February 2017, he'll be ready to make his next, he'll already be ready to make his next move. Am I reading this
I don't
correctly?
have that in front of me, Jim, but I think
Okay.
he'll be ready to make his move to the bottom step of a Class 2 operator.
Okay, I guess, yeah, that is what it says here. Okay. Good.
And then that'll start another probationary period too, but because it's a new job title, but
And with this, there's no change in rate
no
of
change in
either.
pay at
Just,
this point in time, just formality of
Formality.
removing him from probation.
Okay.
We're glad to have Jimmy. He does a real nice job. He comes
Yeah.
in alternating weekends and holidays, as does Chad and Derek.
Okay, good. Thank you, John.
Thank you.
Any questions?
Sounds like he's doing a hell of a
Yeah,
job.
it does.
He's hustling.
Can I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Bill?
Yes.
Dick?
Yes.
Jim?
Yes.
Karen?
Yes.
Tom?
Yes.
Next is affect semi-monthly disbursements. Can we have a motion to pay the bills, please?
Yes, I move we pay the bills.
Thank you.
Second.
Karen?
Yes.
Dick?
Yes.
Jim?
Yes.
Bill?
Yes.
Tom?
Yes.
Okay. Comments from BPA and staff? Where's tonight, man?
We had our meeting last night, passed the insurance as we went over here tonight. Asphalt bid went out, and that Gerken got that as he usually does. And Zimmerman got the striker the paint striping and so forth. So I think that's the only couple items as our agenda was showing. We are having a special meeting, executive session tomorrow on acquisition of property with the school board. And we would imagine they'll want to know about roads and all this stuff, but we'll see what's going on. We're in good shape there. As you know, they're starting Fountain Grove Drive, and we did get the $250,000 grant to help with that. It's about $600,000 project, so that's, we heard today they're back maybe a couple days on that, but we'll get, I think our road will be in place before the school is ready to go, so we'll see how that goes. We'll see how that goes. So outside of that, that was about the only thing at council last night.
It is?
Yep.
Okay. All right.
No, sir.
Any of the superintendents or supervisors?
I just say we got started on Baker Street water line project, so the 100 block of North Baker.
Good. Anybody else? No? Tom?
I just wanted to mention that, and I don't think it was brought up last meeting, but the water towers really look nice. I know I saw you earlier.
They do. I'll give you some example. I did look into history. That was only about 4 years ago when we watched them before, but it sure makes a difference.
Well, they're up there in the air, and the people coming into town, it's one of the first things they see. And being nice and clean like that, it really, it's a good thing for the city.
But I think so.
And the water, so good job.
Mr. Pepple?
My follow-up to that would be, I think when they see that those are clean, then they think the water's clean.
Right.
So that's a positive. Good job, I agree. And then when we got our little old, I don't know whatever it is, the newsletter had nice pictures in there, I thought, showing that. Highlight on those. It turned out nice. So that was good. That's it.
Richard?
I'd just like to thank all the employees and the superintendents, supervisors, everybody doing such a fantastic job while we're in the process of trying to find a replacement director. We'll appreciate you all and keep up the good work.
Okay. Nothing? Okay. I want to echo what Dick said. Yeah, since we lost our director, I've been into the utility about every morning, signing POs and work orders and leave requests and such things, and I'm always pleasantly surprised how well people are still working together. They still seem to be reasonably happy, and they still work hard to get along, and we appreciate that. It makes our job a lot easier, and we're going to do our best to make a smooth transition with the next director. I've also been asked, excuse me, I almost forgot, having to do with the employees. I want to specifically acknowledge Whit Longcore, who has just successfully completed the line workers certification program from Northwest Lineman College Power Delivery Programs. It's a 4-year program. It's quite an accomplishment for him. I congratulate him. Here we go. Also asked to mention meeting on Tuesday, that'd be tonight, August 2nd, at 7 p.m. at the Bryan Community Center on Buffalo Road. A meeting on the Asian longhorned beetle and other invasive insects and plants that have arrived in this country from overseas. It's an opportunity to learn more about them and what you can do to stop the invasion. Sponsored by Bryan Parks and Rec and the Bryan Tree Commission, and it's free to anybody that wants to attend. That's all I have. So with that, we'll go into executive session to discuss employment and compensation of public employees. I'm going to ask Joe if you'll stay, and Jackie. So I'll ask for a motion for a brief recess.
So,
Second.
Dick?
yes.
Karen?
Yes.
Jim?
Yes.
Bill?
Yes.
Tom?
Yes.